this will get cancelled and we will have to proceed to the next step. So, what will be the next step? What should I write? Come on, you tell me.
Plus or
Plus or minus delta z equal to plus or minus omega delta p. મને જાગો છો મને તો એમ કે આ તો પૂરું થઈ ગયું. નો omega delta k and plus or minus delta a delta b. Now, we are going to look at this one first, the last term. Okay, you see, generally when we are doing some kind of measurement, the error has to be small, otherwise the measurement is useless. What I mean to say is that suppose you try to measure, you are trying to measure some length, right? Okay, suppose you want to measure the size of a amoeba. Okay or not? You know what's an amoeba? Yes or no? Okay, it's absolutely very, very small. Yes, right? And suppose someone tries to measure it with a ruler. The problem is that the size of amoeba would be somewhere about in micrometers. So let's say it is, for example, 2 micrometers. Let's say the size is 2 micrometers. And if you try to measure it with a ruler, even if you imagine that we could do, okay, we can't do it actually, but even if you imagine, then the situation will look like this. The length or the size of amoeba measured is 2 micrometer with an error of 0.1 centimeter. So basically 0.1 centimeter means 1 mm. Yes or no? And 1 mm means 1000 micrometer. Did you understand? 1 mm means 1000 micrometer. You will get that if you look at that table of prefix. Right? Look at the funny situation we have. It's that I am saying that the size or the length is 2 micrometer. But I am not so sure. કદાચ એનાથી 1000 ઓછું હશે ને 1000 વધારે હશે. Don't you think that's a funny situation? Do you realize? Yes or no?
Yes.
It's like saying, નોકરી મારે 100 માર્ક્સ આવી જશે. એવું લાગે છે. પણ કદાચ રેન્જ આપો, કદાચ 100 ઓછા આવે ને 100 વધારે આવે. આ તો એનાથી ફરક. This is only 2 and you are saying plus or minus 1000. Did you understand?
Yes.
Yes or no? What you are measuring, its measured value would be so small compared to the error. So whenever the error is big, the measurement is absolutely useless. Okay? આવું કહીને શું મતલબ? આનું શું કરવાનું? We already know that if this 2 is very small compared to the error. Yes or no?
Yes.
We already know that you can measure from a ruler about 0.1 centimeter. You can say and size is very important because compared to 1000, 2 is very small. In fact, it should be the other way, then it is better. For example, with a microscope, someone measures the length of an amoeba, for example, as 2 micrometer plus or minus 0.01 micrometer. Now it makes some sense. Yes or no? Not very great. We have measured it to be 2 micrometer and now we are not sure about 0.01. It might be that much more or it might be that much less. Make sense?
Yes.
This is a good measurement and this is a good joke. Okay, it's not even a measurement. This is only a joke. So look at a good measurement. Like I was saying, in a good measurement, the error is small, quite small compared to the measured value. Clear or not? So, for a useful measurement, for a useful or a good measurement, it is necessary that delta A is much smaller than A bar and delta B is also much smaller than B bar. Okay, this is probably a new symbol for you. Writing like this means much less or much smaller. You already know this, right? X less than y, yes or no?
Yes.
But writing like x and this like this, that means x is very small compared to y. Understood the meaning of that symbol?
Yes.
Okay. So this is what we get. For usual measurement, the errors are small compared to the measured value. Now, that means delta A into delta B, the last one, can be neglected. Now, what is meaning of neglected? Let me explain that as well. I hope you have noted down things from the left side. It's getting absolute pain every day now to erase things from the board. Okay, so what's meaning of neglected? Let's see. Suppose you assume that some person has, let's say, these many rupees. Okay, so many that is. Thousands, lakhs, crores, 100 crores. Okay. How much? 1 billion. I didn't count zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is 100 into 10 raised to 9 rupees. That is 100 billion rupees. Okay. 100 billion rupees, for example. Now, let's say that person is somewhere on the road, right? Okay, and someone says, "Hey, your 1 rupee fell from the pocket." Do you think that 1 rupee matters that much? No, not to that person at least, right? Okay or not clear?
Yes.
Right? To someone else it might be important, but definitely not to this person. That person might just say, okay, never mind. 1 rupee. Fine? Clear or not? Neglected. Why neglected? Because very small compared to the other thing. This minus 1, same. Yes or no? 1 rupee, 2 rupees, clear or not? That is the concept of neglected. Understood? So when something is very small, we can neglect it. Ignore. Neglect means basically ignore. So if delta into delta B is very small, we will neglect it. That's why plus or minus delta Z is equal to plus or minus A bar delta B plus or minus B bar delta A plus 1 gone. Neglected. Okay, last one is neglected. Understood? You might have a question, sir, why aren't you neglecting this and this also? Anyone has that question in mind? Very good question here. Anyone else? Delta A, delta B is here also. Why didn't you neglect that as well? Let me explain, right? It is as follows. Suppose I tell you to multiply 2 with 0.03 and then add it with, suppose, 0.02 with 0.03. Okay, it's a similar situation here. This is delta A and this is delta into delta B like that. Okay. So, what's the first one? 0.06. Small, agree. Not that big, small. But look at the second one. When we multiply two small things, this is small and that's also small. Yes or no? When we multiply two small things, what is it? Clear or not clear? Sure, you understood that? So what is happening is when you multiply two small things, the result is very, very small. That's why we are neglecting this one. Because this is small, that's small. Delta is small, delta B also small. When you multiply them, it becomes even more smaller. Got that? I hope you are seeing it here. But here 2 was not that small. So that's why this multiplication is still okay. But this one is very, very small. So this is what we will neglect. So whether you write 0.06 or you write 0.0606, there isn't much of a difference between them. So if we neglect this, it's still okay. So that's what we have done. This is very small, right? But not the other two. Why not the other two? Because A bar is big and B bar is also big. Clear? Well, so we got this relation. Now, although this looks like a formula, everything has come up very nicely, but we can simplify it further. We will divide everything by Z bar. We will divide everything by Z bar. Therefore, okay, what is it? Plus or minus delta Z by Z bar. Clear or not?
Yes.
Sure. Okay, equal to plus or minus. What should I write here? A bar upon delta P divided by Z bar. But do not write Z bar. I put Z bar value. What Z bar value? A bar B bar. I hope you remember that. You will have it in your notebook. Right? For multiplication, Z bar will be equal to A bar B bar. Got that? From the notebook?
Yes.
So we are dividing by Z bar. We are definitely dividing by Z bar, but this is Z bar value A bar B bar. Similarly, in the second term where we will divide, I will also write the same thing. That instead of Z bar, I will write A bar B bar. Do you see anything that can be cancelled on the right side of the equation?
Yes.
Over here, anything cancelled? What's cancelled?
A
A
bar.
bar is cancelled. And in that one?
B bar.
Very good. So let's write the next step. Let's write the next step. The next step would be plus or minus delta Z by Z bar equal to. Then like you all said, A bar cancelled. Fine. Fine or not? Okay? Now have a look here. What are these things? Plus minus, they no need to write. Errors are always actually added. They are never going to get subtracted. So, at this juncture, we can actually remove the plus or minus sign and just put plus everywhere because errors never cancel or subtract with each other. They only add. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
So this is the basic relation for errors in what is multiplication. This is the basic relation for errors in multiplication. Now we can simplify this further. Do you know what's this called? The thing that you are seeing on the left side. Relative error in Z. Because this is Z. So relative error in Z. I am writing it in short. You are not supposed to write it in short. Okay. RE, relative error in Z. Equal, right side. What's there on the right side? Relative error in A and then plus. What next? Relative error in B. Did you understand? So that means when you are multiplying two things, A and B, when you are multiplying two things, okay, error is not added directly. See, here we didn't get a relation of absolute errors addition. See, this is absolute error, yes or no? We don't get a relation like this. Instead, we get a relation like this. Right? What that means is here in multiplication, we should not add absolute errors. We should just add relative error. Relativity plus relativity gives you relative error in Z. Got that? Okay. We have one more step. From relative error, you can find percentage error. How so? Multiplied by 100. Do you remember that, everyone?
Yes.
Take the relative error and you multiply that by 100. You will get percentage error. So let's take this and multiply by 100 everywhere. Let's see what we get. So 100 into delta Z by Z bar is equal to 100 into delta A by A bar plus 100 into delta B by B bar. Okay, I hope we can read the code properly. Okay, what is called? Percentage error in Z. What is it called? Del delta. Okay, del Z. Here is equal to. What's this called? Percentage error in A. So del A. And then plus del B. Understood?
Yes.
So again, this is the formula for multiplication. Right? When two quantities are multiplied, then this is how we get the error. Sorry, percentage error. Right? So three things, they are actually the same. If you ask me, I say they are all the same. because they all come from each other very easily. So if I were your place, I just remember this. I just remember this. Is that clear? Put values, you get the other one. Alright? So that's about multiplication. Now let's go over to the next. Errors in power, not division. Why? We'll first cover power and then we'll come back to division. It is easier that way. Okay, errors in power. Right? So, for example, if you have got something like, let me just write it over here, very good, a square. What's an example of such a thing? It would be you take a square and you want to measure the area of the square. And someone gives you a ruler, then how will you do it? Measure the length, and then what to do with it? What to do with it? Square. Is that clear? Because formula of area of a square is L square. Is that clear? Okay. So, suppose I want to do it that way, then Z is equal to A into A. Right? Z is equal to A into A. Clear? Similarly, it could be any power. Similarly, it could be any power. Z equal to A raised to A. Maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 100, maybe 80. Right? Okay. So, if I write this as A into A into A into A into A, like that, how many times? N times. Understood? Okay, now I'm going to use this relation that we have derived. That if you have got Z as multiplication of two things, that is, whenever you have got Z is equal to A into B, then you get this. Is that clear? When you have got Z equal to A into B, then you get this. Is that clear? Okay? Fine. So just like that, if you have got A into A, suppose, then what change should I make to this relation? Instead of B, I should write A. So 1 time plus 1 time, that is 2 times. Yes or no? I hope you are seeing that. This would become del A plus del A. Del A plus del A would be 2 times del. Del A square, no, 2 times del A. Yes or no? 1 apple plus 1 apple is apple square. 2 times 1 apple plus 1 apple is? No. Okay. Is that clear? Del A plus del A is 2. Got it? So, just like that, here, if it is 3 times, for example, not 2, then what will be? Del A plus del A for the second day, then plus del A for the third. Okay, like that, how many times?
3 times.
If it is n, then
10 times.
understood?
Yes.
So, directly jumping on to the result. Got it? How many times?
10 times.
So, this would be del Z is equal to n times del A. Clear or not clear? Clear or not clear?
Yes.
Same n times how is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 n times go to the 1 into n. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 n times 2 into n. Just like that, del A plus del A plus del A, del A into n. Got it? Okay, so by using this relation that we have derived earlier, we can easily get that. Okay, we can easily get that. Alright? So we got this. Now, just a little comment. It's not necessary, you see, for this power n to be positive. It is not necessary for the power to be positive. Is it clear? Okay, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah. Now here, what if it's negative? Suppose someone might give you something of this kind, let's say, then errors cannot be negative. So you should not write a relation like this. I am telling you that this is wrong. If z is a raised to minus 2, then del z cannot be minus 2 times del. Why? Errors can only be added, never subtracted. You cannot remove it. Okay. Now, so if you have got minus sign here, that's not valid because error cannot be subtracted with anything. They can only be added. So what to do in that case? Nothing. Always use a modulus. So it doesn't matter whether the power is negative or positive. The errors are always to be added. So this is a correct relation. Now it's fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you put a modulus, then it's going to be a correct relation. Fast ભણાવો છો કે ધીમે ભણાવો? ફાસ્ટ ભણાવો છો ધીમે ભણાવો? બરાબર છે? કોઈ ઊંઘ આવે છે? બરાબર ને? હજી તો ડિટેલ માં તો જતો જ નથી. રાઈટ? ને બદલે ફાસ્ટ ભણાવે તો ખબર નહીં પડે. So that's the relation in general for powers, that whenever you have got z equal to a raised to n, then del z is equal to this. This can be written in another form also. Here is the other form. Is that clear? Okay then. The formula of percentage, what is that? Delta z upon z bar into 100. Okay or not okay?
Yes.
And on right side delta a by a bar into 100. Yes or no?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
What cancelled? Anything cancelled on both sides? Yeah, anything cancelled on both sides?
Yes.
Only what target? So this can also be written as delta z by z bar equal to modulus n delta a by a bar. So this is in form of relative error. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, this is in the form of relative error. You can write relative error in z is equal to modulus n multiplied by relative error in a. બધું એક જ છે. Right? Relative error in z is n times relative error in a. We are still not done with powers though. We still have one more kind to explore. Okay. Absolute error too. No, we will not worry about absolute error. Absolute error ગામાથી આમ multiply કરતો ના આવે. Delta z equal to z by 2 this. No problem. Same. Even if power is in fractions, the same idea works. Okay? Right? The proof is much more mathematical, but we will not go into it. Right? It involves some other technique called differentiation. Right? There is a technique of maths which is called differentiation. So, with that you can prove this even if n is not a integer. Right? Even if n is a fraction. Well, the other case that I was talking about is as follows: that if z is equal to something like a raised to n and multiplied by b raised to m. Suppose two things are there instead of one. Instead of one, there are two things, two quantities, a and b. They are measured and then you are finding. So let's keep it simple. First of all, look at this bracket. So do you understand that it is going to be a into a into a into a how many times? N times. And then multiplied with, again see there is multiplication in between, don't make silly mistake. B into B into B into B, how many times? M times. Okay? Okay or not okay?
Yes.
So, let's use the relation for multiplication here also. So, del z is equal to the one from multiplication. Okay everybody? Right? This is the relation from multiplication. Del A for the first one plus del A for the second one plus del A for the third one. Like that, how many times? 10 times. So this will be n. And then plus now for B. Del B for the first one, for the second one, and continue. How many times? M. Okay. So now we have to add everything. Now we have to add everything. So this will give del Z is equal to clear or not clear? Sure.
Yes.
Everyone got that?
Yes.
This is same as what we have done earlier. Right? Okay, just taking these terms together, so n times and that would be beta, m times. Again, what if things are negative here? What if one of the powers is negative? Nothing. Put a modulus. So in general, even if it's negative, okay, you get del z is equal to modulus n del a plus modulus m del b. If there are three things, then you can write a third one also, possibly modulus L del C and so on. Did you understand? The powers are to be written here. The powers are to be written here. Let's take an example. Yes. છે ને ક્યાંથી ચાલુ કર્યું અહીંયા જો a raised to n. What is n? Okay. Next to the example. Come on. Eleven. Okay. The three of you on the last bench, I'd like to meet you in the staff room after the class. Okay? Please come with your handbooks. All right? Example 11. Find the relative error in Z if Z is equal to a raised to 4, b raised to 1 by 3 upon c raised to, no, only c and then d raised to 3 by 2. So in this example 11, what we are given is what? Z is given. And what? Hurry up. A raised to 4, b raised to
1 by 3.
1 by 3 and then divided by c and then d raised to
3 by 2.
3 by 2.
3 by 2.
Okay. Is this clear first of all?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes.
4, 1 by 3 and c raised to minus 1 and d raised to minus 3 by 2. Right? Using the rules for power. Okay. Now, time for error. So, you see, you can always write the del z formula like we have been doing. Okay. So, just to verify that you all have learned, I'll ask you to do. Okay, Pragati, let's start with you. Stand up. What should we do for the first one? For this. Del A into anything. Look at this. If you have a raised to n, then you get n here. Yes or no? Then what should I write here? Modulus 4. Clear or not clear? Okay, sit down. Well done. Now you sit there. Ruby. What next? Plus 1 upon 3 in modulus. Okay, very good. Sit down. Understood everybody?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
Okay, the next one will be modulus
Minus 1.
del C plus modulus minus 3 by 2 del T. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. 4 modulus is 4. 1 by 3 modulus is 1 by 3. Minus 1 modulus is 1. So no need to write del C. And similarly 3 by 2 del T. But we have to find not about percentage error. Read the question. From relative error. So from percentage error, can you get to relative error? What is percentage error? Relative error multiplied by 100. Yes or no? So this will become delta z by z bar. Okay, and write it in the next step. This will become delta z by z bar. Okay, and all that. Let's put in that delta z by z bar equal to 4 times delta a by a bar. Yes or no?
Yes.
Where is into 100? Why am I not writing it? Because this will be 100, this will also be into 100, the third one will also be into 100. So everywhere 100 will get x. Is that okay? If you're not happy, you can write one step between this and this on your own. Okay? You will understand what we have done. So, fine, so this is your final answer. This is the relative error in Z, 4 delta A by A bar, 1 by the delta B by B bar, and so on. So clear? Alright. Any questions, anyone? Okay. Now go to the exercise. There is a similar question that you have to do for homework. Number 13. From the exercise, question 13. Square root means how much power? 1 by 2, half power. Okay or not? Square root means half power. Okay, so use that. Now, coming back to examples. Right. Let's do number 12. Okay, let's do number 12. 11 was just this. Okay, you just have to make this relation and you are done. Right? Example 12. What's the question? Let's read it. It says the period of oscillation, means time period of oscillation of a simple pendulum is given by 2 pi under root L by G. Measured value of L. So we are measuring L. Measured value means the average of all the values. Yes or no? Yes. When we report a measurement, we write the measured value as L bar. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Like this. Clear?
Yes.
How much is the measured value of L? How much is the measured value of L?
20.0.
So I should write 20.0 centimeter over here. Clear? Plus or minus. Now known to 1 mm accuracy. Okay, what does that mean? Let's write that. Whenever someone says 1 mm accuracy, means we are not sure about this 1 mm. That is, we have measured length. Okay, but there could be an error of 1 mm. That's why I am going to write 0.1 centimeter here. Did you understand?
Yes.
1 mm, same as 0.1 centimeter. Got it? Yes?
Yes.
So this is delta L, that is the average accuracy. So this is the whole reporting of L. Just like that, I believe something about time is also given. Let's see. It says that time for 100 oscillations of a pendulum is found to be how much? 90 seconds using a wrist watch. So someone was looking at the wrist watch and seeing how the pendulum oscillates. So when the pendulum oscillated 100 times, means 100 oscillations were completed. How so? Starting from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Okay, it was counted up to 100. So how in 100 oscillations, how much time did it take? 90 seconds. Okay. Was that measured exactly, or is there some error? Error is always there. So how much is the error? It was measured with which instrument? Stopwatch or a wristwatch?
Wristwatch.
Okay, wristwatch is same like a wall clock, isn't it? It can count seconds. So there will be an error of up to 1 second. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, in this formula, this T is actually called time period. Time period means the time that the pendulum takes to go there and come back. Only one oscillation. Okay, time for one oscillation is called time period. Okay, it goes there and comes back. That's it. But this was measured for 100. 100 means back and forth, 100. So if you want to find it for one oscillation, then that is called time period. Did you understand? When you find it for one oscillation, not for 100. For 100 it's not called time period. For one it is called time period. So for 100 if it's this much, then for one it will be how much? Can you find that? Yes or no? For 100 if it's that much, for one it will be how much? Do it in your book one and tell me what we should write. Hurry up, come on. For 100 oscillations this much, then for one. Yes, Nama. 0.9. Say it in fractions, please. 90 by 100. Okay, and then error will also go with that. So 1 by 100. Did you all understand?
Yes.
90 by 100 and plus or minus 1 by 100. Clear? Everyone? Clear or not clear? Okay, fine. So we are getting this. This is time period. Now, it's the reported value of time period. I hope you understand what I am saying. This is the reported value. This is the average value, and that's the error. Got it? Got it or not?
Yes.
Okay, reported value, reported measurement. Fine. Read the question. What do we have to do? Find the accuracy in determination means finding of G. So in this equation you see a G over here. This G is the gravitational acceleration. We want to find that if we do this kind of experiment by counting oscillations and measuring time and measuring this length, the G's value that we find, how accurate is there? Small error? Is there big error? Is there 1% error? Is there 100% error? Is there 20% error? Understood? How accurate would it be? So for that, first of all, we will make G as the subject of the equation because we want to find something about G. So G is equal to 4 pi squared L upon T squared. Clear or not? Which you can also write like this. Clear or not? Dimensional formula nothing. Okay. L is the length and T is the time period that we have measured. Understood?
Yes.
Fine. What's the purpose of writing like this? Now you can see that G is made up of some multiplication and some powers. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, but just one moment. 4 and 5, they are numbers. They don't have error. Right? We have not measured 4, we have not measured 5, we have only measured length. So when we write the percentage error in G, then I should write percentage error in L plus. Do you understand this? Where are other things? There are other things. They don't have errors. 4 doesn't have error. 5 doesn't have error. So there is no need to worry about all that. We should just worry about the error in L and the error in T. Is that okay? Based on this you can find out there is how much percentage error in G. The rest is for you to complete as homework. Okay, you tell me the answer that you get tomorrow. બધાને બુક સાથે મેચ થશે તો પ્રોબ્લેમ થઈ જશે. Is that clear? Okay, every time the answer should not match exactly with the book. એવું થાય જ નહીં. Got it? So nobody will copy it from the solution. એવું કરશો તો તમને જ નહીં આવડે. Turn it off.